Oh, I guess we're not getting heat yet, are we?
I thought we were in the sanctuary. That's not right. Listen, I'm glad somebody else is in the dock lately. They're coming back. They're bringing it back. A lot better, yeah. Where the Dankos were from? The Dankos. No way. I don't think we would. So,
Did you get my text?
Shabbos. I feel like you get a medal after this month. You say, like, I made it another year. Next month. Gotcha. How's your week been? How about you? Fine. We'll get one made up, but don't worry.
That's nice.
Just a little reflective. Powerful connections up there. I don't know who you're talking to. No worries. I can't spot that. And all the heavens and the earth have been set in their array, and creation was. And God went about making pairs between the days. God paired Sunday with Monday, and Tuesday with Wednesday, and Wednesday with Thursday. But Shabbat was left without a pair. And Shabbat was so sad. Why do all the other days get a pair and I don't? Shabbat said. And God said to her, the Jewish people will be your pair. And they will go with you everywhere, and they will make you holy and sacred. And that's what we're here to do together tonight. As we begin tonight with a song of light about creation on page 110 at the bottom of the page, or Hadash.
Ya la 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 la, ya la la. Ya la 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 la, ya la la. Ya la 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 la, la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, la la la. Or Hadash, Al Zion Ta'ir. Or Hadash, Al Zion Ta'ir. Lai, 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 lai. Veniske kulanu, me'aradi oro. Ya lai, 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 ya lai, 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 ya lai, 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 ya la, 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 lai. Ya lai, 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 ya lai, 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 ya lai, 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 ya lai, 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 lai. Ya lai, 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 ya lai, 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 ya lai, 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 ya lai, 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 lai.
It's a really joyous weekend because we have the opportunity to honor Yuli Danko. And so, as in recognition of that fact, we invite the Danko family up to light our Shabbat candles, beginning with the reading on page 3.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu
On page 5, we rise together in body or spirit for the Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, b'ratzon lanu, v'shabbat kodsho, b'ahavot ratzon.
the Kabbalists of Shabbat were so taken with this idea that the Jewish people were preparing for Shabbat that they would go out to the fields just as the Shabbat arrived every week and go out and greet her like a bride. And so we do so on page 20 with Lechadoti. Together on page 26 for the Hatzi Kaddish.
Yitkada v'yitkada shemera Yamad v'rach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chai yechon u'vyonechon U'chai yenecho beit Yisrael Ba'agala ba'agala U'bizman kariv Ve'yimeru amen Yehei shmera b'mevorach Ve'alam olam ve'amaya Yitbarach ve'yishtabach ve'yitpa'ar ve'yitroma ve'yitnasei Ve'yitadar ve'yitaleh ve'yitalal Shemei yekudesha b'rechu Le'ila min koverchata v'shirata Tushbechata ve'nechemata Damiran miyama Ve'imeru amen.
We rise once more in spirit or body on page 28 for the Baruch Hu.
Baruch Hu Adonai, Amen.
page 30, we read together. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai, the God, is your name. May your name continually us. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings us the evening. Responsibly at the bottom of page 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol.
All these things were praised for us.
And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives.
What could be a spiritual
Then this holiest of your works in the living language that gives it form.
We continue with the Via Hafta on page 36. Via Hafta, Hey Adonai, Techa, Be'ol Bachar, B'chol Nafshecha, U'b'chol Me'odecha, Dehayu, Advarim Ha'emet, Asher
We continue responsibly at the bottom of page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness, please give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God on heaven and earth. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
The sky of the promise and strength of my spirit.
So our failings are many, and our faults are great. It has been our great glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day. Nation is built upon our enemies. Then
Singing on the Lord, fit through.
Adonai.
peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. We continue on page 44 with the Shabbat. On page 46 for the Tefillah.
Open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hanadol HaGibor HaNorah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Mekonei HaKol, V'zocher Hasyavot V'imahot, U'mevii Geulah Livnei Lechem, Le'ma'an Shemo Yahweh, Melech Ozer Moshiach my name, Baruch atah Adonai, Bonei Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh Makot Hara Ve'Moshiach, Mashiach Ruach, Umorim Hadashem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayeh Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei
You may be seated as we join together at the bottom of page 59. When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. You made us little. Adorned us with complete majesty. You gave us playing the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth.
Shalom Rama Yisrael Tassim Leolam. Shalom Rama Yisrael Tassim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech ador.
Whenever we gather together, we take the opportunity to pray for healing for those in our community and perhaps beyond our community, those whose names we'll share so they can be held together in this space, and those whose names we keep only in our hearts. If there's a name that you'd like to offer that we can all hear and hold together, I invite you to do so in our Zoom chat or as my hand passes over. The words of Shabbat can be found on page 253. we have a gift for you. It's a really precious gift. One that perhaps you don't get so much in your day-to-day life. It's that holy gift of space. Space to fill with your own prayers, your own meditations, perhaps your own doubts. Take this gift. Use it well.
May the one who makes peace in the heavens descend on us, and the world will say amen. May the one who makes peace in the heavens descend on us, and the world will say amen. 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 Descend on us, and the world will say amen. May the one who makes peace in the heavens descend on us, and the world will say amen. Oh, say shalom, Biromah, Uyaseh, shalom aleinu, ve'al Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Amen. Amen. Ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. May the one who makes peace in the heavens descend on us, and the world will say, Amen.
When we begin the Torah, God seems obsessed with black and white binaries. God separates light from darkness, day from night, earth from sky, and the earth from the waters. The first chapter of Genesis is rife with divisions and categorizations from the first day to the sixth. With each new creation, God builds and expands the taxonomy of life as we experience it, until finally God creates humanity in God's own image. By the beginning of the second chapter of Genesis, the heavens, the earth, and all their array had been completed. So on the seventh day, God made Shabbat. God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, having ceased from all the work that God had to do. That might have been our creation story. Binaries and banality. But that's not our story. Our God is the creator of day and night, but also of dusk and twilight. Our faith is one of complexity and multiple truths. Judaism is not all black and white, and we often live our lives in shades of gray. There is no one binary line, rather a full spectrum of expression on a beautiful plane of existence filled with colors of the rainbow. Our sacred text is demonstrative of that fact. After we read one account of creation, the very next line of the Torah begins a new one. And the word that links the two is la'asot, the infinitive of the verb to do. Usually an infinitive will require a subject. So it's sort of strange that the verse seemingly ends mid-thought. Stranger still, the very next verse begins the creation story anew, as if totally unaware of, or at least unconcerned with, everything that had preceded it. Moshe Chaim Luzzatto explains the dangling infinitive of this verse as an indication of our ongoing partnership with God in this work of creation. Humanity's work begins where God leaves off. It is up to us to decide what we devote ourselves to and how we will do it. And our role in this partnership is articulated very differently in each of these creation myths. In the first chapter of Genesis, God creates humankind in God's own image with instructions to be fertile and increase, to fill the earth and master it, and to rule the fish of the sea and the birds of the sky and all the living things that move upon the earth. The human being created in the second chapter of Genesis, however, is formed by God's breathing into his nostrils. The Eternal planted a garden for that humanoid in Eden and placed him there to tend it and to serve it. Rabbi Joseph Soloveitchik explains the discrepancies between these two as an extended metaphor for the duality of the human soul. We are both created in the divine image and capable of mastering the whole world, while simultaneously we are merely vivified clay. And one day we will all return to dust. We are imbued with the majesty of our Creator, filled with creative potential, and we know that together we can change the world by sheer force of will. We can conquer the world and overcome nature itself because we are created in Tselem Elohim, in God's own image. On the other hand, our own genuine lived experience teaches us that at the same time we are each humbly merely at the forces of the universe. We are at the mercy of the forces in this universe that are beyond our own control. We are equally desirous of solitude as we are community, equally dependent on the bounty of the earth as we are capable of controlling it. Our ability to master the world does not negate our responsibility to care for it, nor does it negate our shared destiny with it. This is why Rabbi Simcha Bunim taught that each one of us should have two pockets with a piece of paper in each. In one, the inscription, Bishvili Nivrat Olam, for my sake, the world was created. And in the other one, Ani Afar V'Efer, I am but dust and ashes. Not either, both. Not or, can't. Binaries don't work for us because each one of us is an expression of the one. Each one contains multitudes, transcendent, transformational, and uncontainable. There is another account of creation, a Kabbalistic account of creation, as told by Isaac Luria. It is expressed in three main symbols: Tzimtzum, Shvera, and Tikkun. Our Jewish mystical creation story begins when God contracts God's self through a process we call Tzimtzum. At the beginning of time, God's presence filled the universe. And when God decides to bring the world into being, to make room for creation, God first drew in God's breath, thus contracting the divine presence. From that contraction, darkness was created. And then God said, "Let there be light." And the light came into being and filled the darkness. So God separated the light from the darkness by combining it to 10 holy vessels, which God was to send to earth. But these vessels could not contain the divine light, and so they shattered. And this shattering we call Shvera. When that Shvera happened, the holy sparks of God's divine light were scattered across the world. The Kabbalah teaches that only we, beings created in God's own image, can restore them to their rightful place through a process we call tikkun, a process we call repair. What can we learn from these mystical elements of creation? First, when we undertake this process of creation, we must begin with Tzimtzum. The space we create by stepping back and making space for others is sacred. Second, however, is the Shvera. The shattering of those divine vessels teaches us that though we must make space, if we contract and constrict ourselves too much, then surely the light will eventually burst forth and perhaps shatter us in the process. Even so, tikkun is possible. We can always make repair. We can co-create this world anew by lifting up that which is holy in one another. That is how we pick up the work of creation right where God left off. As we begin the Torah anew, may we renew our commitments to repairing the world, our commitments to tikkun olam. May our sacred stories of creation inspire us to build a better world together. This Shabbat, may we set the foundation of that world in love. I must build this world from love, just as you must build this world from love. For if we build this world from love, then God will build this world from love. Olam chesed yibarech.
Olam chesed yibanei, lai, 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 lai. Olam chesed yibanei, lai, lai, lai,
rise together in body or spirit on page 282 for a later. The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows. It is radiant with warmth and beauty. But soon it fades, its substance consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our lives are full, but as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down in gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more, and we are seen no more. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives we give life, and something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light. Remember the recent passings of Morris Nathanson, Milton Lewis, Jonathan Adam Rosen, Betsy Brown Rusi, Laney Fleischer, Edgar Bissett, David Aaron Jack Windsor, Selma Savage, as well as the yard sites of Martin Fibish, Janet Faden, David Fox, Rosalind Zurier-Geber, Howard Gilson, Jerry Gottfried, Ernest M. Brown, Jack Warren Palin, Robert Zuckerman, and our cottage can be found on page 292. 294. May the one who creates harmony and high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say,
Shalom.
I double checked, I triple checked, I went back a fourth time just to make sure, but we do in fact have an oneg tonight, sponsored by Kristen Kanyu in honor of the B mitzvah of Yuli Danko. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. If you haven't been keeping up with your Torah study, this is the chance to get back on. We're going to start it all over. Bereshit, at the beginning of the Torah, tomorrow at 9 a.m., followed by the Shabbat service, where we will at 10:30. Please come back this time, 7 o'clock next week, as we celebrate Rabbi Gutterman. I know we love him very much. We'd love to see your smiling faces there and then. There are so many other wonderful programs you can find in your Shabbat booklet, but we'll close tonight on
Page 321, with Adon Olam, 321. Please join me. Adon Olam, Hashem Alav, B'terem kol yitzir nivra, le'eit nasa, b'chefzo kol, azai melech shemo nivra, azai melech shemo nivra, ve'acharei yivlot hakol, levado yivlot nora, ve'hu haya, ve'hu oven, ve'hu yiviyeh, ve'tifara, ve'hu yiviyeh, ve'tifara, ve'hu echad, ve'ein shehi, le'am shilo, le'havira, ve'li reshit, ve'li tachlit, ve'lo ha'os, ve'ha'mizra, ve'lo ha'os, ve'ha'mizra, ve'hu eli, ve'chai lo'alim, ve'tzor eli, ve'ein tzara, ve'hu nisi, u'manosri, menat kosi, ve'yom ekra, menat kosi, ve'yom ekra, ve'yado akiv ruchi, ve'eit isha, ve'arira, ve'im ruchi, ve'biyati, Adonai li, ve'lo yira, Adonai li, ve'lo yira.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Much like my friend Peter. He's got another
I liked your words about gifts and helping. How are you?
I'm good, thank God. Making it through.
Got through the holidays.
I did, and I'm still here.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, they're fun. They matched your jacket.
Thank you for
That's
It's a good mood to be in. Hi, our Zoom friends. Fanny, it's so good to see you. Sherry, how do you do? But
I love your dog.
a little Fanny now.
That's Fanny.
Nice to see you, Ellen. Shabbat shalom.
Hi, Ellen. Hi, Gloria. Hi, Rob. So I got to meet Victoria's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also the vibe.
She's fine.
Good.